Welcome to howtopam. I'm going to show you here today how to get the latest Flash plugin installed in Firefox web browser. Now, the first thing you're going to have to do is go to Google and type in Mozilla, check your plugins, and you'll get this here page here that will pop up, and it will check your plugins that you have in your Firefox web browser. Now you see I've got the Adobe Flash-player, the latest one, installed, and it's up to date, and these are the plugins I have installed. But if you have not got Adobe Flash-player installed, that will not show up here, or if it's out of date, it will let you know here that it's out of date. So once you've decided that you don't have the Firefox Flash plugin, or it is out of date, then you can go to Adobe and go to Adobe Flash-player, and you'll see here, this is where you'll download the Flash-player plugin for your web browser. Now here you can see that it's automatically detected my system. I'm running, this system is Linux 32-bit English Firefox, but you'll see the download button is dead. And if you notice, when I mouse over it, in the bottom left of the screen it says JavaScript void 0. It means it's a dead link. But that's no problem. What we're actually going to do is click on the drop down menu here and choose this for other Linux, and that livens the link. And then you can go ahead and you can download that. Now, if you're not sure which version of the plugin you need, and you can go ahead and save that. You can go to Adobe, Adobe Software, Flash, About, and they have listed here which plugins are available for which operating systems. And you'll see here in Linux that if you're running Mozilla Firefox, you need this version of the plugin, or if you have Chromium-based browsers or Chrome on Linux, then you need this version. Okay, so one of those two versions there, and you can see that from this particular page here. Okay, now that we've downloaded that, we can go to our downloads folder and see what we have here. Now, here it is here. So let's right click on it. Let's open the archive manager, and we see we have all these files here, and let's extract that. Now let's, in our downloads here, let's just create a new folder for that. We'll call it the plugin. And we open that by clicking enter, and then let's extract those files in there. Okay. Now we can close our archive manager. Now if we look in this here downloads folder, we'll see, oh, here's the folder we created, plugin. Now here's the same thing that was in that zip file. Now this here particular file is the actual plugin. And in this file is Unix system resources, and it's full of a number of different files that have to go into different locations in the Unix system resources folder on the hard drive. So we'd have a hard time trying to unzip all these files into the right location. We'd have to do each one individually. We'd have to open them all up and zip it in, and then go back and get another one and zip it in, and that takes a lot of time. So what we'll do is we'll do it all through the terminal. With a couple of short commands in the terminal, we can actually unzip all of these files that are in this USR folder into their right location. So what we'll need to do, we will open up the terminal, but before we do that, there is a README file here. And if we just open that README file with a file reader here, we can read what's in this README file, and you'll see there are some installation instructions. And the instructions right here will tell you exactly what we're about to do with the terminal here. And we're going to actually open the terminal, and we're going to copy this here plugin to the correct directory. And then we're going to copy the contents of this Unix system resource folder, all the files that are in there and folders, we're going to copy them to their proper location with one simple little command. Okay, so reading this here tells us that we need to put the plugin where our browser plugins are located. It doesn't tell us exactly where it's located here. So let's go have a look at that, and let's see where that has to go. So if we right click on the file system here, this is the root of our system, and we'll open another window, a new window. Now if we go down to the Unix system resource folder on the root of our hard drive, and we open that, and we'll see a number of folders, and we go into the library folder. Okay, and then we look for Mozilla, not for Firefox. We don't want Firefox, we want Mozilla folder. So let's look for Mozilla, and you'll see it's right here, Mozilla. We open that up, and here's the plugins. Okay, this is where that plugin has to go. Now you can see there's the root, there's the Unix system resource folder, there's the library folder, there's Mozilla folder, and then there's plugins folder. And that's where we're going to put this. So what we want to do is actually take this plugin here and put it into this folder here. Okay? So how we're going to do that, we'll actually open up a terminal here by pressing Control Alt and T key on our keyboard, and let's change the directory by typing CD. We change the directory to our downloads folder, plus we made the plugin folder. Okay, so let's change the directory there by pressing enter. Now you can see we're into the downloads, and if we just want to see what's in there via our terminal, we can type ls and press enter. Now you see ls lists the files and folders that are in here. As you can see, we've got an lgpl here, and it's listed here in the terminal. We've got the plugin here, which is the same as this one. We've got a readme text here, which is the same as this one, and we've got the Unix system resource folder, which is this one. So now that we're inside this folder, what we're going to need to do is become root user, and we do that by typing sudo. Okay, and then we're going to use this command here, cp for copy, and then the file name .so. That's this file here. Okay, so we can type cp and then lib Flash-player .so. Okay, so we're telling the terminal we are root user, and we're going to copy this file right here, which is this one, and we're going to copy it into a place here on the root of our system. So here's the Unix system resource folder. Here's the lib library folder. And now we need the Mozilla folder. Here's Mozilla, and there's plugins. Okay? So now we're going to copy this file into here. So what we need to do after we've written this command is give a space and then type usr library Mozilla plugins okay. So that tells us that we'll copy this file into this area here. Okay, with this command. So we just press enter now. It wants our password. Put our password in, and there you go. Okay, now that one is copied into the correct folder. So the next thing we're going to have to do is we have to copy all of these files and folders into their correct location. Okay, so we're going to copy all the contents of this from our plugin that we unzipped down into the root of our Linux operating system, and all the files and folders here will be distributed to where they have to go. And to do that, we're going to use this command right here. Okay, so once again, we become root user, and we're going to copy all the files from this plugin folder to the root of our system. With this command, all the contents of this folder from the plugin here will be distributed inside this to where it has to go. Okay, so with that command there, and we press enter, and there we go. Now, all the files and folders from in here will be all distributed to their proper locations via the commands that we ran here from this readme file here. So two simple little commands, one to move the plugin to the plugins directory, which was on the root of our system under Unix system resources, in the library, in the Mozilla, and in the plugins. And there's our plugin right there. Okay, the other command was to distribute into the Unix system resource folder all of the files here into their proper locations with one simple little command. Okay, now this readme, you don't have to remove that, you don't need that other than to read it, and this here licensing agreement, you don't need that in your system. It can stay in the folder where you've unzipped the files. Okay, so we're finished with this. We can type exit. And we can close this. So now, if we open up our web browser and we type about :plugins, and you'll see it brings up our installed plugin list. Now these plugins were installed on this unit, here's the Java updated plugin. And we're interested in this one right here, Shockwave Flash. We just put this in, and you can see there is the updated version. Okay. So that will then, if we like, we can go back here to check our plugins one more time. And you'll see there it is right there. So hopefully that will help you get the updated Flash plugin installed on your Firefox, on your Linux operating system. If you are updating your plugin via this avenue, you'll want to delete the existing plugin before installing the new one. So when you go here to your Mozilla, plugin directory, if you have an old plugin here, it'll look something like this. It'll be a lib flash player, but if it's an old one, you'll want to delete that before you install the new one or extract the new one into there. It never works to have an old version and a new version of plugin in the same install. So always remove the old one, and you can do that simply by running your file manager as root, and you could right click on it and you could delete it. Okay, so this will help you get your Flash plugin updated and running as the latest version in Firefox on your Linux operating system. Thanks for watching howtopam.